See if we live on the YouTube.
How you like the new place, man?
Oh, that's good.
That's like me. I love it. I hated the moving part because really all I did was move, literally, no exaggeration, down the block. But
right,
if I can get more for the same, why the hell not?
Right, I got you.
It's crazy because you got to put the same effort into moving down the block as if I was moving back to New York.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's get to it. Man, it's been so long. Let me see. I still remember the intro. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day. All depends on where you're located. Man, welcome back. Season 2, I guess we'll officially call it. Marc Gates Ty-riffic. USFL presents the Owner's Box. It used to be the only live PS4 live talk show, but a couple people copied the format and the blueprint and launched their own. Shout out to all them shows. So now we're just the livest PS4 live talk show on, all things Madden and things like that, man. First and foremost, it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot to discuss as far as Madden 19. Let's talk about patches and updates and the new format, man. I don't even know where you want to start at. Oh, first of all, don't mind my Bosky out here in the background. You know what I'm saying? My official office space isn't hooked up yet. So, but I see Ty got his painting behind him as well. So,
the days of grown ass men like us hanging up a Scarface or a Tupac poster on the wall. We men now.
Right. This is an official man's cave, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But man, where do you want to start? I feel like we should start at. Let's first start as when it comes to CFM. How do you feel about the archetypes and how that all breaks down now?
Well, I'll even take it a step before that, before we get in the franchise. I guess we could start with overall impressions of the game. I mean, we predominantly, for the most part, legit played the game almost the entire year, so we got used to the way one game played. So obviously there was efforts made to improve or enhance the game in certain ways, some good, some bad. So let's just start with general gameplay, your observations, what you noticed, and then after that, I guess we could break it down and branch into franchise specific. But how do you think the game plays? What's good and bad about it to you? What do you think about it? On a scale of 1 to 10, how you feel about the game right now?
It's a solid 8, and I would have gave it a 10 if they would put their hands up when it's time to use it. For me, I love the new running mechanics. I think like the movement is so smooth and so fluid. Like you really have to plant that first foot, and once you understand that mechanic, how it works like that, before we could juke and spin at the last moment, but now it's like you have to do it in all in one motion, like a fluid motion, like if it's as if you were almost running yourself. I kind of like that aspect. I like how the zones play on defense now, where they do the match concept and they actually follow that guy if he's a threat in his zone and passes him off. That mechanic versus the protect the sticks mechanic where they don't even acknowledge that threat, where they just kind of just stay in that position in that zone and attack anything in that. So once you understand those two things, protected sticks versus non-protected sticks, why sometimes guys follow each other, your defenders follow that guy, I think the game overall is pretty good. My only issue is, man, they don't put their hands up. Like they don't put their hands up on defense when you try to catch the ball. And then I just lost the game in all Madden settings where the guy wouldn't put his hands up on offense. I could have lost the game on that. So they could fix those two things. I think I would have gave it a 10, to be honest with you. What about you?
You know what? I kind of like where you're at. I'll say right now it's probably a 7 for me. I'm aware that that's going to increase as I play the game more and more. Again, I'm used to playing a certain version of the game for a year. So moving on to this version, obviously there's some things that's not the same, obviously, and that's going to cause some uncomfort. I know Boone also told me the same as you, that his big thing was the hands. Mine obviously is speed being neutralized in the game. I'm not saying it should be. That's my biggest gripe. I like what they tried to do in terms of it's not going to be as simple as sending John Ross on a post pattern no more, throwing over the tops of cover 4 and shit like that. That's ridiculous and shouldn't happen. But I was playing a game last night. I threw a deep bomb to Sterling Shepard on the post. I want to say he was wide open by a good 10 yards. There was a linebacker trailing him. And from the time I caught the ball, to start running, that linebacker was on my head and I couldn't shake him. And no, I wasn't holding down turbo the whole time, because this year with the turbo, you got to kind of liberally use it, like barely tap it and get that boost, and like incorporate it that way. But you just can't break away from nobody on the game. And I feel like speed is totally neutralized in that regard. Like you can't break away from nobody there. There were several times last night in the same game I was playing with Saquon. Obviously, when you first get the handoff, you don't want to start off on the turbo. But you got dudes breaking through the line, and it could be just the Giants line is shitty, which I'm taking that into account too. But I've got DEs like almost on my head from the time I get the handoff to where it's like it's a catch-22. If you hit turbo, you can't run that way this year effectively. If you don't hit it, I'm stopped in the backfield. So I don't like the fact that they tried to bring the speed back down to earth, but I feel like it almost doesn't mean anything no more.
Yeah, I agree. So what I noticed is two different to talk about that. I noticed that a lot on all Madden. Like there's no speed barrier. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, a guy like a Julio Jones is 93 and a linebacker is 86. Somehow they run stride for stride.
You can't shake them.
Yeah. Even on all pro, sometimes I know it has to be at least like a +6 or +7 in speed to see a difference. You know, but how often is that? I mean, there's only like 3 or 4 people with 94 plus, 95 plus speed. John Ross, Perryman. You know, there's only like 3. Brandon Cooks. There's only like 3 or 4 receivers with that much speed. But there's no way that a linebacker should stay with him. In that type of gap. And I understand. Even when you throw like a fly route this year, they don't even allow you to put your hands up.
Yeah.
You can't do the rat catch where you just send a guy on a fly and you just get that speed versus speed and they catch the rat catch for the deep ball. They don't even EA has kind of nerfed that. So it forces us as owners and guys who play the game to get guys open more creatively. But on the flip side of it, still cater to the noob, I guess.
I just look at it like this. Like, to me, this is the hardest year I've seen for scoring in the red zone. And you've basically taken away the capability of big play. So now, like, that play I was talking about last night with Sterling Shepard, that's a touchdown any other year. This year, I'm brought down at the 10, and I wind up getting a 3 as opposed to a 7 because you just can't. So big plays are going to be harder this year. Like, it's funny. I was talking with Cletus about this, and I said, man, like, you know what I legit think might be the hardest thing in Madden to do now is run a kickoff back. Because, again, going back to what I said about you can't break away from dudes.
I actually got one, but they call holding. I actually broke one, but they call holding.
I give you props, though, because, man, brother, first of all, lately, and I noticed there was a patch yesterday when I got on the game, so I downloaded it. But I noticed the last day or two, there's like some weird glitch with my dudes when they catch a punt or kickoff return where it looks like they're running in slow motion at first. And then they finally get going, and I don't know what that's about.
Now, my question is, when you catch that punt or kickoff, do you hit turbo or do you start running first?
I start running.
Yeah, this year you can't. If you catch that ball and you instantly hit that turbo, he almost has to build his momentum to get that speed going. Versus if you just start running, then like you said, you make that first cut or you move it, then you hit that turbo, it's a whole nother.
I don't hit turbo for nothing no more. A lens, like legit, like the way they say, once I feel like I found a lane, then I'm gonna try to tap, not even hit, just tap.
It. Yeah,
that acceleration to get through that hole, and then once if I'm through the hole, my thing is, you know what, I try to mix it up between regular running and an occasional tap as dudes start to close in on me. But no matter what I've done or how I've done it, I just can't get it. I can't break away from dudes.
Right.
Even if I have sizable distance on them. So that's that. The one now in terms of, but that's the only real gripe I have with the game.
I think, and let's talk about how you feel about block shedding, because the block shedding is still a little cranked up for me. Cranked for me.
Okay, it is, but I don't really have a problem with that because looking at it from the standpoint of a real NFL game, it's rare in a game on any team that a QB can sit back there and just pass the ball and scan the field and survey what he wants to do. I mean, normally if you look at it in the NFL, you got maybe anywhere from 2 to 4 seconds to get rid of the ball. So in that regard, and that's realistic, I'm good with it. Now, what I haven't seen yet was a bunch of people just abusing it by playing on the D lineman all day and just rushing. I haven't seen really anybody.
That's in one of my other leagues. That's all they do. That's it. So, that's what they do. That's all I'm at. They play one zone, and they spread the defensive line. They just use the D end versus that tackle, and they just spam the button and come around the corner all day. That's not skill to me.
So I haven't seen that yet to really speak on it. If that's still roided up, I'm not a big fan of that. You know, the only time I went on a tangent on rant last year and all of Madden was about that toward the end of the year because I just had enough of that. Like, because again, my feeling on that is it neutralizes building up the O-line. If I got an elite offensive lineman and you got a dude I never even heard of, and Kurt had this one dude, Trey Wilkerson, on the Saints. Nobody ever heard of this dude. All the dude was fast. He wasn't exceptionally strong. He wasn't a monster. He was a good player. Like, if I seen him in free agency, I'll pick him up. But my dude Gant was like 90, like over 95 and everything. So I'm not saying he should never get beat. That's not realistic. But he shouldn't get owned either by Trey Wilkerson. Like, if he got owned by J.J. Watt, even that to me should be a stalemate. If they both got elite stats, it should be a toss-up. It shouldn't be like you just get to have your way.
Right.
Like, should I build up the line?
Right.
But in terms of the positives, I like that I feel the game is much more strategic this year. Like, I know this is something that really, really worked against the Cletus types in terms of being able to take and like, I don't think you can build teams. I know you can't build a team no more the way we previously used to do it. It's largely out of our control. It's all about the archetype points. You really have to be scheme oriented. You can't just make a random trade to make a random trade because you're getting talent. You could, but if that dude doesn't fit your scheme, you may not necessarily see the benefit of it. So you got to be real cerebral in your draft approach. You can't just sit there and say, I'm just going to take the fastest dude. Like a lot of dudes used to do. I'm just going to take the most athletic dude. Even going into free agency, the way it affects me and you. Before, I felt like me and you were supremely talented in being able to go into free agency and look at those dudes that had attributes that fit what we like to do. And even this year, now doing that, it's kind of like you're looking at that, but you're like, okay, but I'm running such and such a scheme. This dude doesn't fit it. Like, I'm not going to be able to work on building him up as much. So now it's more about getting dudes that fit your scheme. And when you look at the way stylistically, the way the game plays, you hit on a good point. The fact that the zones now kind of cover match until you get out their zone changes the looks you're going to get. I think man plays this is the best I've seen man play in about 5 years. I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but you can actually, I feel comfortable to run man now without having to make 18 billion adjustments. So I just think, with them nerfing the big plays somewhat, the running game being different, man playing better, zone playing better, the looks playing better, I think it's a much more strategic game now because now, like I had a conversation with Cletus about this toward the end of last year, right? So Cletus had a 99 overall team. I had a 94 overall team. It doesn't sound like that's a big difference, but I was telling him the difference that makes is there's no weakness on that team anywhere. Like, I'll give everybody a look into how I prep for a game. If I'm playing somebody in a big game that I feel is good, that I need to, there's certain aspects of homework I do. And one of the things I do is look for weaknesses on that team to attack. Well, if this dude can sit there in the dollar with 3 down linemen and shut down a run, which shouldn't be able to happen out of 3 down linemen, but if the 3 down linemen are 99 everything, the linebackers in back of them are 99 everything, he can literally play a pass defense and shut the run down. There's no corners to attack. There's no safety to expose. I brought up all of that because that's not going to happen this year. So now it's going to be more so everybody's going to be more evenly matched, and it's going to be about who can make the least amount of mistakes, who has a better game plan, and who could execute as opposed to an arms race of who built a better team.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because I do like the archetypes, man. I like how you, for guys like me and you who love a scheme, who run a scheme, who feel like schemes are, better than, scheme. We always talk about scheme versus stick. So I think this year it has to be a combo. You have to have a scheme that fits your user skills. If you don't have that, then it's all irrelevant. I also noticed that guys who've had the little purple icon or those pictures,
puzzle piece.
Yeah. Puzzle piece, they also get an XP boost when you do the training. So imagine, you know, everybody on your team, if you have your whole 100, you know what I'm saying? Everybody on your team pretty much gets an extra XP boost. So that's something to keep in mind. It'll be interesting to see guys like Cletus, how he drafts and things like that. I know for myself, I'm still going to try to use the approach that me and you use, but only if that second archetype is kind of close to my scheme. For example, like I usually go for like faster linebackers and they have to have good pass coverage. But sometimes I might, like this one, I might have a field general. If his points aren't even close to a field general, they don't even make sense for me to even look at him because it's going to take me so long to get him up to just standard to fit on my team, if that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. It's funny, we talked before we came on this show. At the end of the day, like it's funny, right? Like we're in that USFL, UGTFL separate chat for players in both leagues. We're in the USFL chat together, we're in the UGTFL chat together. And it's funny because I see people in the chat, I'm 5-0. You know, oh, I'm 4-0. Oh, I haven't lost an unranked game. And like I definitely don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but like I was telling Cletus, anybody on August 25th that's really talking themselves up, I don't pay that too much attention because it's way too early for anything. Like, to me, honestly, I don't really start paying attention to who's who until about October, November. And the reason why I say that is it's going to take people a few months to adjust to game speed, gameplay, different folks, new schemes. Anybody could luck up in a season one and be halfway decent and win. But when you get deeper into the season, you separate the men from the boys with who's winning as we get toward Christmas and in that area. Because now everybody's familiar with the game. Everybody knows who's doing what. So definitely good to see people starting out, you know, feeling good about the process. At the same time, it's way too early to crown anybody anything. Like guys like Cletus, I don't care if the game changed. Cletus is going to figure out how to make it work. A guy like you, where people ain't sticking their hands up, doesn't matter. Is it frustrating? Yeah. In a month or two, you'll figure out how to make it work. Like if you know how to play this game and it's proven year over year over year, no matter what version the game has come out, that you're able to adjust and be productive and good, that's not going to change. So Cletus is still going to be good. You're still going to be good. I mean, the only thing that changes is you have those people that hovered around 7 and 9 and 8 and 8, and now maybe the game's a little more friendly to where maybe they play. So maybe they win 2 or 3 more games now. So as opposed to Jack Smith going 7 and 9, hey, he might be a player this year. He might be 9 and 7, but I've never seen the game take a top player and make him a bottom player.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, it's like it's so early. Like people still cracking the code. I'm still kind of cracking the code. I know last year I was like real big on deep shots and things like that, and I feel like those shots are there, but they made the window tighter. You know what I'm saying? They made the pass window tighter, and then
like I said, they're there, but they're not touchdowns now. Now they're 50-yard passes because
50-yard passes, or they swat the ball animations. Like I catch it, the guy jumps on my back, swats the ball down. I'm like, I had him beat by like 3 yards. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So it's still some things that need to be fixed. I think guys who I know a lot of stuff that we did last year kind of works, but doesn't work this year as well. You know, I mean, this is a whole new man. I mean, I like the direction that it's going. But yeah, anything beyond before this, you can just kind of can that and start from scratch at this point. I do wish they would revamp some of the playbooks, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know that.
You hit that right on the head, and it's funny because perfect example. I've used New England now because I'm pass heavy probably the last 4 years, and for the most part, that playbook's the exact same. The one thing they did last year that pissed me off was they kind of they nerfed the U-Trips weak and made it less potent. Like 2 or 3 years ago, U-Trips weak, that motion of the running back, he wouldn't just stop like 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. He was gone. So, but you're right. Going back to this year, like it's kind of the same playbook. They took away one of my money plays out of shock and tight that's really pissing me off, but that's a different story. But yeah, they added some new stuff, but you're right. Overall, I mean, playbooks are the playbooks. I mean, the only thing I feel is that sometimes they tone down the effectiveness of a play, but you're right. You're going to have the same plays kind of year in and year out.
Yeah. There's no real, like, I mean, Patriots still have their special formation. I think Titans book has that tight flex that everybody's running. But there's no like one formation custom to that team or whatever. And I feel like that, you know, like for example, the Eagles, how they had that Super Bowl play where the quarterback caught the touchdown pass. I for sure knew that was going to be in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even have that in there. That kind of like a staple play in the Super Bowl. If you remember that play I'm talking about, where they
No, I totally do. I'm just literally thinking about everything you're saying, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks thinking about what you're saying. Like, why can't they? I'm not saying change the playbook drastically. That's probably a lot of extra work, but why can't there be some flavor? Like every year defensively, like this year they brought the big nickel over G back, which is basically
love it.
Why? So do I.
Love
but
it.
Long story short, like you never see that type of flavor or wrinkle on the offensive side.
Yeah. Yeah, other than like the Heavy Panther or something like that.
And I think that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah. I think that was like Cam sophomore year. That was Cam after he like made a fan in the game. That's what I'm saying. And he's but overall, like it. Can't complain. How do you feel about just the
say again now?
How do you feel about
I'm sorry, man. It's coming in like broken up.
That's how you feel about running the ball this year.
Oh, I like the intent. I don't have it down yet, so I'm not reaping the rewards of it. Like a typical game for me right now running the ball is maybe 18, 19 carries for 70 yards, and that's a good game. But I've been closer to around 50 yards. Again, and it's funny, I talked with Cletus about this. Yes, it's nowhere near as easy to run the ball as it's previously been. But when you don't have a really good line, to me, a lot of it is how much of it is you're not mastering the mechanic versus your line's not good. Like the Giants line is Nate Solder's decent. Will Hernandez, I think, is going to be a stud. But after that, I mean, I'm dealing with Eric Flowers and I'm dealing with John Jalapeno and I'm dealing with John Jerry. So when dudes are shedding me and I'm getting shut in the backfield, is it I'm not executing properly or Eric Flowers can't hold a block? So, you know.
Yeah, I feel like if your line isn't that good, you do pay a penalty for that. I know it's a running back does not block. I don't know if you notice that. Sometimes he just lets guys run directly right past him. Have you seen that at all?
Say that again.
The running back. Sometimes that's people go right behind him. Like you just go right past him, or right around him. Like he's not as smart as he was last year.
The running back's awareness is definitely not what it was last year on a blocking scheme. Like to me, honestly, I'm almost to a point to where it's like I think it's easier to blitz this year than it was last year just because I feel like it's so much more easy to confuse the running back and the offensive line.
Yeah. Especially with this, everybody's in this, the community's in the phase of this contained blitz. And that's kind of like the meta right now. That's kind of like the standard right now. And just watching like people, swing around the end and the running back still with his hands up. It's just like this. He just runs right in front of them or sometimes right behind them. I'm like, come on, yeah, I know you guys see it. I know you see it.
Yeah, but it's funny because when you see them plays and you're 100% right, because instead of the halfback focusing on the imminent threat, he's looking across the field to the right inside because he's seeing a potential linebacker come through that way as opposed to dealing with the dude that's like 5 feet from him in his face.
No, right, but I'm saying, what if I ID the mic on that guy? If I ID that guy, why does he still not block that way? Even if I say, hey, block this guy, he's blitzing. I'd rather him focus on him and let the other guy who was the potential come through. Because I made that bad read. I made that bad play call, if that makes sense. Don't have me ID the mic, slide that way, and the guy's still swinging around. He's still like this with his hands up. Like,
I agree 100%. I'm just saying that's what I think. I think the AI is flawed in that regard in terms of the halfback's attention or in terms of what's preoccupying his assignment. It's not being overridden by ID the mic.
Yeah, I just think something that is just needs to be revisited as right now. Because it's just frustrating at times. And I get it, like you said, it's like a real game where you only have 2 to 3 seconds. But when I'm blocking tight end and running back, max protect, slide, and ID the mic, I still get the crazy block shit. Like that's mind-boggling. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it is because that's what we're taught. It's not like we don't know how to resolve the problem. So when you think about it, right? When you do everything you're supposed to do, you want to be rewarded. Okay, I knew this blitz was coming. I called the right play. I had the right protection set up. It's like the real NFL. Like if you know what's going to happen, or your favorite NBA, if you know Mike Jordan's getting rocked with 2 seconds left, and you devise a defense to stop him, and everybody executes correctly, and he still hits a shot, it's hard, man. Because damn, what else could I have done?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's still early, so we'll see how it all plays. And like I said, everybody's still kind of cracking the code. A lot of guys are still running, YouTube stuff. I see a lot of YouTube stuff when I'm playing these lobby games. So,
when you think about it, like I'm not surprised. I mean, it's because everybody wants instant gratification. Let's play now. Let's play now. Let's play now. We don't care if the game's broken. Let's play now. So, if you're a grown man or a grown woman or what have you, when you work and you have kids, you don't necessarily have the time to sit there and really put hours and hours into the game and flesh out schemes. And you got to play right now. So it's kind of like you got to put something together real quick on the fly. So I'm not surprised you're seeing that because people are trying to figure out the game. I'm seeing it as well. I'm not surprised. That always happens in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of like hesitant to really start the league so soon. It was like, man, I feel like they needed 1 or 2 patches and before we even jumped in it. But like I said, it's like hot. Everybody, I need to play it. I need to play it now. It's funny because when I got it, me and Boone had talked about it, and I was like, I need a break. We went so hard last year, I ain't really get a chance to take no break.
That's why I really wasn't one of these, let's play now, let's play now, let's play now. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't even mind another week of not playing. But I also think we timed it just right to where it's like, okay, everybody's had the game. Like, even if you got on the 10th now, we're approaching the 30th. Everybody's had a good 2.5 weeks to kind of rest up, relax, work on some schemes, take your time. Like, I didn't put a ton of time in the game, and I'm expecting to see that result in terms of I'm probably going to have some issues out the gate. I don't think I'm going to be horrible by no stretch because I played enough, but I'm not comfortable yet. It's not like last year to where it's like I didn't have to lab, I didn't have to do nothing. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what my player against me was going to do, and it's just, hey, can I execute it? Now it's kind of like, okay, like I need to see how stuff holds up. I need to make my stuff more cohesive as opposed to calling plays. I need to scheme everything together, etc. And that's going to take some time. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like I said, we went the whole year. Like I've never went from launch to launch playing the whole CFM playing that. We used to take a break that summer off. So when I got the game, it was like I had to find fun in it again, or at least start not running the same plays that I was running Madden 18 because I just shut it down like a week ago. You know what I'm saying? So especially if that's in the game, we're still going hard in that league. So.
You're so right about that because that's kind of where I'm at. But if you think about it, the first thing guys like me and you are going to do if we have to play immediately is go, well, I'm going to go with what I know works. So I'm going to start out running a lot of what I ran last year and then add to it on the fly as opposed to what works, what doesn't work, and tweak it. But you're right. That's been my biggest obstacle right there, is just finding the motivation and the juice to say, okay, I'm going to sit down here for 3 hours, even though it's nice outside and the old lady wants to get it in. I want to go and eat a nice meal. Oh man, I'm gonna bypass all of that and put 3 hours in. Like I'm having a hard time with this right now.
Yeah,
not being strapped to the PlayStation.
Yeah, that makes it real tough. Like I said, we're fresh off of that last one. For me, man, I had to I was running. I know when I first got, I was running a lot of stuff. Okay, this was just working 2 weeks ago. Let's run it here. I was like, okay, well that guy's standing there. He wasn't standing there last year, and then taking a couple losses in this other league. They jumped in so early. I think I'm like 1-6 or something crazy in there. It's all Madden league. They're doing the D-line cheese. I'm like, crazy rules. I'm like, man, this is just so much going against me. I gotta find fun in that. Like you say, not try to look outside and have a good time outside. And then it's like, yo, USFL, like, yo, we already started the week. I'm like, whoa, I ain't even got my playbook together. Like,
right.
The other day I had to build a whole game.
It ain't the worst thing in the world, me being at work and the phone constantly blowing up and it's 400 messages and I look at my phone and there's all kinds of people blowing me up and 25 people at me. When do you want to play? When do you want to play? When do you want to play? Hey, tomorrow? Hey, today? Hey, leave me alone, bruh. I'm good, man. I don't duck nobody. I play all my games. I'm going to get at you.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
So it's good right now that I ain't having that, you know, but yeah. It's weird though, because the pride and competitive in you is like, yeah, but I don't, what you just said, but I don't want to be 1-6. But then again, even my thought on that is anybody that's played with you for a while knows you ain't, your record is 1-6, but they know in 2 or 3 seasons where you're going to be. So it's like, if I came out the gate 1-6, I'm not really worried about it. You don't want to be 1-6, but it's not like you're going to be 1-6 in damn November.
Right. So early. That's why I don't even.
Like, I know I'm going to get what I give. And right now, I'm not putting into the game. Right now, I'm not giving the game a lot. So I can't expect to be 6-1. And I want to go out and eat steaks and barbecue and all kind of shit.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Like, that's what makes it tough, you know. But, like, that's just competitive in me and the competitiveness in me. I just wanting to be respected.
Of course.
You know, so, but
I blame you. I'm just saying.
Like, I don't pay nothing mind. Like you said, season 1. Like, it's so early.
I'm laughing because I'm just we wired the same, brother. Like, I didn't put the time in yet the way I should, but if I came out 1-3, I'm gonna feel away with it. But realistically, it's like, how, dude? You ain't playing. You ain't putting no work in. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. I ain't really do much. I just, like I said, just jumped in. I was like, I'm gonna run the same book I ran last year. Then I found out like they running custom books. I'm like, I'm still running stock. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. I ain't read the rules to the league. I'm just in it. Just winging the games, no training, nothing, just winging it. Just out here. I mean, I've been losing by like 3 or a touchdown. I haven't been thrown out or nothing, but even still, just to be able to do that. So I'm not going to bring that into this, you know, once we launch our league this year.
Well, you hit it right on the head. Like, at the end of the day, even without putting time into the game, if you've played the game for a while and you're kind of somewhat football savvy and smart and you know how to play the game, you can still be competitive. It's just when you're playing dudes who's wired just like you, but they're putting the time in on top of that, those are the games you're going to lose by 3. But if you're just playing any old body, and it's like, well, I don't have my stuff together yet, but at the same time, I know how cover 3 works. I know how this passing play works. I know this passing play has multiple people open on it. I just got to make the right read. You're going to be all right.
Yeah, I agree. What are your thoughts on so far as formations? Like have you found your favorite formation, or do you see where the community, you know, got a lot of formations that guys are going to be running this year that we might see a lot of? Or is it still too new to determine that?
Are you asking me what my favorite formation is, or what I'm seeing a lot of people run?
Both. Like, it's a combo question. Like, what are your favorite formations, and then what do you think that's going to be the most commonly things that we see up against each other, or like, you know, amongst ourselves in the league?
Well, my favorite formation on defense, without a doubt, is big nickel over G, and I also feel that that's what I'm going to see a lot of people using. But
that is the best. Before we go further, that is the hands down the best defense formation in the game, hands down. That's I'm gonna say it's the best base defensive formation. You can live in that. You can live in that.
Especially with subs, because it's basically the old 4-2-5, and you used to run that heavy in NBL, and I ran that heavy in NBL because it's a perfect combination of being able to gear up and stop the run and the pass. I'll tell you another formation. I still like the 3-4. I'm not able to do all of the things I did out of it last year, but from being able to defend the run and pass formation, it's still a damn good solid base formation. I'm really liking the dollar. Like, the dollar to me is I'm using a lot of dollar, and I've always been a big 4-6 dude. So that's on defense. On offense, I mean, that tight flex is a monster. Especially that PA play. I mean, the crossers. I mean, I like that, but I hate the fact that the 2 running plays suck bad out of that. That counter and that draw, that garbage. So basically, every time you come out in it, really, honestly, if I seen somebody in that, I'm gonna blitz the shit out of them, because
I'm gonna give you the best. The best run out of formation is read option.
Yeah, but you're right. But if I got Eli Manning, that ain't. I mean, where's the threat of the run? Like, so you have to have specific personnel to pull that off and make it credible.
I do it. And he don't need to keep the ball. Just hand it, just take off because you got to break in that first hole and keep it all the way around to the outside. But you need the offensive.
He's like a mid-50s carry, and that dude is slower than watching paint dry, dude. Like Matt Ryan's probably like the Flash next to that dude.
Oh, I'm not running with the quarterback. I never give it to the quarterback. I always hand it off, and I always seem to get at least 3 yards. So
yeah, and I feel you on that. No, you're right.
I don't like the counter, and I don't like the draw out of that. So I always take the read out.
So slow and delayed in the counter again, like especially with the way you have to play turbo, you almost asking you to hit the backfield. So, like for me, honestly, and I got to give Boone some credit for this. My favorite formation probably on offense is, well, that's two. One, I'm a big split close guy because, again, I run New England's book, and I've always ran that book. But the formation I'm really loving that I'm able to get a lot of work in out of single back wide trips. And it started last year with that one PA play that Boone used to run. And I was like, I started looking into that play. And when I started looking into it, I found a lot of other good plays around it to where I can scheme it up, to be honest, to where I don't even use that PA replay that much. There's so many other good plays in there. So, and I like that it really spreads out the defense to where it makes the running plays in that pretty effective too, because you're pretty damn spread out defending that wide trip. So right now, my favorite I'd probably say is either the split close, regular split close plats, and single back wide trips on offense. And on defense, I'd say definitely the big nickel G and 3-4 odd and dollar and the 46.
Yeah,
fair and speed, huh?
I agree with you on them defensive ones. The big nickel over G's me hands down. Then I love the 3-4 odd. Always love the dollar. I never run that DB strike. I never really run that, but I just love that. I like how the personnel lines up. And even I've been running a lot of 4-6 normal this year too so far.
That's why I said. Well, every year I've always ran that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I never run it normal. It's a heavy run situation. I always go to that speed package.
Yeah.
That to me is one of the real. It's funny. That one defense I think has persevered throughout the years. Sometimes it's not as effective as in other years, but you can always get good heat out of it. You always get decent coverage. It's always good against the run. Like that's one formation you can count on. It's always going to be decent. But like you said,
that's because what's the name? There's 3 plays out of there that always work: inside blitz, fire zone 3, and rush outside.
Yeah, no, and you're right. See, now it's funny going back to what we said about new plays, but it's been those same like 10 plays for like 4 years now. So it'd be nice to add a wrinkle to that shit.
Yeah, those are for sure. You don't have blitz 101. You don't know any blitz in the game. 4-6 inside blitz, rush outside. Those 2 blitzes work all the time. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. That, and then the other thing you forgot about it, you pair those 3 good blitzes up with that cover 2 invert with some tweaks, and you can run that formation and be decent in a lot of scenarios.
Yeah, especially with the speed package, you get your personnel right. You can live in that 4-6. In all honesty, I think the offense for me, I still love the stack wide flex. Single back wide trips is a great formation. People sleep on that. I really like single back dice slot or single back doubles this year so far, early on. I really love that formation. I love a lot of plays coming out of that formation.
I think the ace is still pretty damn good too. And it still works kind of the same way it did last year. The running's a little more nerfed down, but the pass plays, and you're right, because I've always run that dice slot. It's funny. You run gun stack. The version I run that I love is I run the single back wing stack.
Yeah, that's the one with the 1 receiver, the 3 tight ends or whatever.
No, single back. It's the wing stack. This is the one where it's got 2 kind of.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Left. Yeah, and tight ends on the right.
Yeah,
but the motions in the angles and the routes that they run, like there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, I like the single back wing pair where it's like the 1 receiver 3. It's like 1-3-1, and then I also go into the shotgun version of that as well, which I think is kind of a cool concept. Like you know what I'm saying? Because when people see that, they go into this run heavy package, and as soon as you come out, you quarterback's in a shotgun, it kind of throws them off. Like 3 tight ends, 1 running back, 1 receiver, shotgun, kind of opens up the field a lot.
Going back to something you said earlier about trends in the game, one of the things I'm seeing in the community, and it's something I used to love to do, and it seems like it's going to be pretty solid this year too. The low pass kind of seems to have been nerfed, but the high point pass seems to be real big again.
The high point pass is out of control.
High point, especially like with a tall receiver on a post or something.
Bro, you don't even need good spec catch.
Yeah.
I got like people are just throwing high point passes on drags. I'm like, why are you doing it? There's no need for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need for that. I played the guy the other day, he was throwing all low ball passes. All he was throwing was low ball passes and possession catch. Low ball pass, possession catch.
Yeah.
Hard to stop that. I was like, what is that?
I'll tell you the other reason why I think people are so liberal with it, and it makes sense. Last year, that mechanic and that animation was real bad about if you got hit a lot of times, especially low, that was almost an instant fumble. If you got hit low 8 out of 10 times, you was coughing that ball up. But now the hit sticking mechanic's a little different. They're still hit sticking, but you're not necessarily getting touched and coughing up the ball or fumbling it. So it's kind of encouraging people to go back to, hey, man, I'm just going to throw it up and high point that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing a lot too. The high point passes, a lot of low ball passes. Everybody's doing it, like especially towards the back of the end zone. I know I did it a lot last year. Nope. Kind of rare. But now it's like that's like the mandatory now. Like high, and before you could like hit the receiver and knock the ball out. This year it's like they don't even knock the ball out.
Yeah,
they don't even knock the ball out. Like some guy had Edelman high point pass over my linebacker. I'm like, Edelman's like 5'9", 5'9", 5'8". He shouldn't even be able to out jump somebody that's 6'1". You know what I'm saying? Or at least knock the ball out of his hand. So they it's just some things that have to be fixed and geared. Let's go into the franchise, man. I think one of the cool things this year is the sub packages. I think we kind of didn't touch on that yet. With the power running back, third down running back, the normal running back, the sub
back, rush left in, rush right in.
Yeah, so I'll break it down real quick for some guys who don't know. Like your standard, let's say your team. Let's take the Falcons. I'm the Falcons, right? So it's easier. My starter is Dante Freeman. My third down running back is Coleman. My power running back, I sometimes switch out between Coleman and Freeman. So basically what that means is on every third down, of course, you get Coleman is my, on the field. Normal formations, Freeman's on the field. If I leave Coleman as my power, anything power formation is one receiver. So if I have that one receiver, that's when your power back comes in. For guys who don't know that. Sometimes in certain shotgun formations, your third down running back comes in also as well. So if you have multiple running backs, I think it's a cool way to get dual back systems. I remember how the Giants used to have lightning and thunder and that 3-headed monster. I think like this year they kind of like have a way to keep that going. How do you feel about the sub packages?
It definitely gives it a more realistic feel. And it is cool to know in a scenario you don't have to look to scramble and make formation changes because you already have the right personnel in. It's a good thing. From a greedy standpoint of being selfish, it's a bad thing because, like, let's go back to what I was saying about Cletus and the way he builds teams. Even though I like the fact that kind of got nerfed because it makes it more about skill, I kind of hate the fact going back to the experienced Madden player noob, that all of these things are being built in, and I hate in a way that he's being penalized for being a student of the game and putting that work in and putting that time in, and now that's being taken away from him. So there's some lazy fuck who's not going to put that work in or put that time in is on equal footing with him. Like, that's kind of what I don't like. So going back to the sub packages, I want people to have to be strategic and do that on their own in a sense, as opposed to just giving it to them.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so look at it from this perspective. Last year you had Darius Jackson. Well, let's say guys like we have our star back, and we have a guy who sits on a bench pretty much his whole career, like because he never gets in. These packages now he has the opportunity to get sprinkled into the offense.
I'm not saying I have a problem with it. What I'm saying is I want that to be manual in terms of you need to do that adjustment, not the computer's helping to set you up to be successful. Like, I want people to have to earn what they get in a sense. Now, that's why I said it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. All I'm saying is that now, like, too much stuff is kind of being given to people, and the strategy element is being taken out. Like, if you can automatically set that in, I want Gates to have to call a timeout and analyze the situation down a distance and what's going on in the game. So I need to make this formation change. I need to make this sub. That's gone out the game now because it's in a package and it's automatically going to happen. So
is that not real? Is that not how they do in NFL, where they used to bring in certain defensive linemen and stuff like that, only on pass downs?
I think you're missing my point. That's why I said, you asked me how I like it. I said, I like it because it's realistic, and that's the way it should be. I said, from a selfish standpoint as a player, I don't want other players to have shit handed to them. I want them to have to earn and do that shit. You get what I'm saying? I'm not knocking it. All I'm saying is, from a selfish standpoint, I want you to have to scheme. And if you're not smart or you don't know football, you can't scheme, I want you to be penalized. I don't want you to have a bailout. That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
It's right, it's good, and it's realistic.
Yeah, I got you. Because what I like about the sub linebacker package is how you can put safeties there. You put safeties and linebackers. So that safety who he drafted, or you might pick up who might only have 85 speed, or like, man, he's old, he should be a linebacker. Now we don't have to have a question of, can he play linebacker? Does that make sense? We used to always have that thing like, yo, can we put these safeties on linebackers? Like, now you can't do that. I can do it now. I can surely do it now. You can't stop it now.
I don't know how the commission is going to feel about that, because you're 100% right. I didn't even think about that, and I don't know how they're going to feel about that.
That's what it is. I mean, it's a great package, especially like that's why the big nickel OG is so huge. Like, you can have 4 of your best corners, 3 safeties, your best linebackers on the, what I'm saying, on your middle, and your 2 ends, and your best 2 defensive linemen, all on the same package, man. That's hands down the best formation in the game. Hands down. That's how I set mine up. So you're gonna see Jones and Neal flying around all day in the linebacker package. You know what I'm saying?
I'm laughing. Check this out. You see what this paper is? Hey, this paper right here, right, was me actually going into practice mode with the big nickel G and utilizing my personnel to set it up to where I got Lorenzo Carter, BJ Goodson, Alec Ogletree, Damon Harrison, Olivier, like the personnel that I want, and me saying, okay, this is the best possible combination I can get so that whenever I go into games, first thing I'm going to do, that first play of the game on defense, go to that big nickel G and drop all of this personnel in there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I feel. I mean, it's the same with, it's like big nickel G. It's like, even now with 3-4 odds and, like, you know what I'm saying, different formations like the dollar and things like that. Like, now I get the best. I don't have to keep subbing this guy and subbing this guy. Like, once you set that up right and, you know what I'm saying, understand how that all works, man, you have your best possible team on the field at all times, especially on defense, man. I really like it. Like, I really like the package, especially with the power back, and I don't have to, like, sometimes figure out who's my best trucking guy. I kind of look at that once, and then I just know, like, when I need this extra beefy 1 yard, this inches, I'm putting the big boy back there. Just put your head down, give me that 1 yard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he did a really good job with that, with them sub packages. How do you feel about the archetypes? I mean, as far as not being able to upgrade certain things, and then like determining what archetype. Like, because a guy might come with a certain archetype, but you can ultimately change it by giving him more points to it. How do you feel about that?
I don't know, man. Like, it's too early for me to say, and I'll tell you why. It's not that I'm not familiar with it. It's that on one end, it's kind of cool if you have a vision and a scheme and you want to build a guy a certain way. Like, perfect example, I've always been much more reliant on zone than man. So a lot of times, believe it or not, you would see a cornerback of mine that might have like 78 man, but 94 zone, which is drastically looking out of whack. But if I'm not playing man, why am I going to spend points on man? So on one end, I don't like the fact that is taken away from me. On the other end, I'm a fan of realism, and it is kind of realistic that, like, at the end of the day, you can have this vision all you want, but if you have a scheme in place and this guy's not capable of being this type of person, you shouldn't be able to make him be that type of person. So I'm on the fence. I'm torn. I guess what I need to see is how a season or two plays out and see what the overall improvement of my team and various players look like before I can honestly give you an opinion on it.
Yeah. So how I broke it down is like this. So you launch the franchise and you get your coaches, right? Make your coach whatever. You can go to coach teams and then ask you what playbooks you want, what type of team you are, and it tells you right there, like multiple 3, 4, boom, boom. But then it breaks down everybody in a position. So for you, let's just say for me and you, for example, in theory, we in defense we should be Tampa 2 style defenses because we like zone cornerbacks. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I love multiple 3, 4, but the perfect scheme for that, the perfect type of cornerback for that scheme is man. But I don't run man either. Like I don't really run man. So it plays in that dynamic. Like, am I building to what I want, or am I building to what, you know, how the game is working out, or you know, to the realism of it. So for me, I think it'd be dope to see how Aaron, you know, the Raiders builds his team because he's a real head coach. How does he use his dynamic? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, the Falcons are a 4-3 team, but I run 0-4-3. But everybody in their place is built for that. And when I look at 4-3, yeah, and you read the definition of what a 4-3 team is, it's 4 guys rushing, 7 guys in coverage. That's the definition of my defense right there. I don't like the formation. I don't like how they line up though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do I go against the grain and build them how I want to build them? They get penalized, or do I try to follow Madden's format? That's why I was curious to know. That's why I think like scheming, deciding what type of team you're gonna be right now, early on, and right now while the game is still new. I think that's so important. That's what's really separating.
It's so interesting to say that because that's literally the way I approached it. Right here was all my different mindsets. I, like you, looked at all the different playbooks and said, what makes me the best team out the gate? Because there's a difference between me and you, too. You're playing with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm playing with the New York Giants, who are rated in the low 70s, right? So if it's telling me that these two schemes, as opposed to making me a 74 overall, now make me an 80 overall, and I want to compete, I'll be foolish to bypass that and go, no, I don't care what you're saying. I'm just going to do what I want to do. So especially for the lower overall teams, it's really important to try to maximize the potential. Now, the mindset also is this. The Giants in real life switched to a 3-4. So the personnel they have is 4-3 personnel stuck in a 4-3. So I'm in a weird no man's land because, perfect example, if you look at the Giants stock, Olivier Vernon is a right outside linebacker. I would never have him an outside linebacker. So I went in my depth chart, edited him, and it's posted on YouTube so nobody can say I edited something unethically, made him a left end again. So you're right. I know in real life the Giants are 3-4, but they're in a weird spot because they have 4-3 personnel. I've been running a lot of 3-4. I run a lot of 4-6. I'm going with the 4-6 archetype because not only does it maximize all of the potential of my team, it's legit how I play. Now, in real life, if you looked at me as a coach, I would be a hybrid multiple front. So, and you're kind of the same way. So for me, I can kind of luckily fit under a bunch of different schemes because I use a custom book for the most part, and I run a bunch of different fronts, which in the true life is the epitome of a hybrid. I'm not necessarily a 3-4 team because I will run a lot of big nickel. I will run a lot of dollar. I will run a lot of 4-6, but
right. But now with this new system in place, that's what I'm saying. Where do you spend them points, and what type of players do you look at? For example, like I like big fat guys on the defensive line to stop the run. You know, where you might have, like you said, speed rushers on the outside. You know, and it's like, okay, we run this hybrid front. In theory, we should probably somehow have a speed type of rusher. But I don't like speed rushers. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they don't seal the edge for me. So it's always that constant conflict of, do I get this guy? Do I get this guy? Where before we could just draft whatever, pick whatever, we just adjust. I think this year, what remains to be seen is, are we penalized for that? You know what I'm saying? Not just saying overall, just you're penalized in gameplay, and roster, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
And you're right, and that's why I said I kind of need a season or two to see how, because we can have all the opinions we want now. At the end of the season, if your team took a step back or they took a step forward, who knows? That's why I said I really can't answer now. But one thing I am going to do is I'm going to stick to my defensive philosophy, irregardless of what's going on. And here's what I mean. I'm going to use what you just said. I always get 2 pluggers in the middle. And Snacks Harrison always fits that bill. I think he's the #1 rated DT on the game. And then I put Dalvin Tomlinson right next to him, who's another plugger. And I go with the 2 speed rushers on the end, which is why I move Vernon down. So I'm always going to set up my line certain ways. I'm always going to be geared more towards zone. So I'm still going to draft and pull people in that have those attributes I covet. And then I have to figure out how that balances out against my scheme fit.
That's the question. How do you still do that theory and that mindset and still get the bonuses from the scheme fit, if that's possible?
Okay. But here's how I look at that, though. Here's an example. Do I really need to worry about building up Snacks Harrison? No. He's already built. It's like if I had J.J. Watt, why do I care if archetype points or anything goes to him? I don't care if he's covered in my scheme fit.
Yeah.
I don't care if Whitney Merciless, J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney. You don't need to build them dudes. They're good. You need to worry about the dudes like Christian Covington. You need to worry about the dudes who ain't household names. So the way I'm doing it, I'm not telling anybody it's right. I'm not telling anybody you should do what I do. I'm not worried about Snacks Harrison. I'm not worried about spending archetype points on Eli Manning. I'm not worried about building up Odell Beckham. They're already built up. I need to ensure Sterling Shepard gets love. I need to make sure Eli Apple gets love. I don't need to worry about Landon Collins. So I try to find schemes where those guys I want to build up are covered. I don't care if Landon Collins, Eli Manning, Odell, I don't need them to have the puzzle piece because I don't need to spend points on them. I'm worried about building up the dudes that don't have it because something you said last year I still feel applies to this game. You told me a long time ago, man, Ty, man, I don't even use these dudes. I let my stars be stars. I'm going to let Odell be a star. Odell Beckham is Odell Beckham. But what I wanted was build Cody Latimer up to complement Odell. So I look at drafting the people the way I want, but trying to find schemes that fit the puzzle pieces for the dudes who I want to build up, not the dudes who are superstars already.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I noticed something that was kind of cool. And I told Boone this not too long ago. My rookie, Calvin Ridley, the receiver out of Alabama. When we first started the preseason, he was a quick development. But since I've been hitting him and he's been all over the field, these preseason, his development went to a star. And I didn't do that. It did it by itself.
Yeah.
So I think that gameplay and how people move on the field is going to be dope. And I think who's going to benefit and take advantage of that is a good old Cletus. He's going to be targeting guys, the same guy, because he's been doing it. You know, he's been doing it. Terrell Pryor Sr. He's just been hitting him all preseason, building him up, you know, low key, and he's going to ship him up out of here. You know, he has nobody who plays over 25 on his team. So, but
yeah, me and him talked about that. I think them days are, hey, if you're 25 and ship you out, I think them days are over. Because especially in the beginning, teams that aren't rated real high in the Jets are not. You can't really afford to trade away talent. I don't care if they're older or not. You can do it last year. Think about the premise of why he got rid of older players. Because he can build young players really quickly. You can't do that now. So there's value this year to them vets. Like, to me, this Madden is going to reward the veterans. Think about this. Have you been in free agency in USFL yet?
Yeah.
Hey, no names in there you recognize. None.
Only one, and I signed him. There's only one. Lessenby. Somebody left Lessenby there, and I snatched him up.
I used to love Kobe. Had him on my Giants for 2 years. But the point I'm trying to make is this. People are smart, and if you're smart, them veterans make a much more bigger impact this year than ever before. Because last year they set the table. Because now I could hold on to Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie last year because he wasn't going to drop below 90 speed. So I could play this dude until he was 36 years old. In the past, I'm going to cut this dude because I got this young gunner right behind him. Now, hey, you need Evar Bowman. You need Carlos Dansby with 13 years in the league, even if he's going to play 2 more. Because it might be 3 or 4 years before that linebacker you drafted is actually worth the damn.
Yeah, I think this man really brought some value into the old guys, the old 30-year-old plus guys, especially with the speed threshold not being crazy. A guy who's 89 speed now still has life in him. You know what I'm saying? Sherman, Earl Thomas, you know what I'm saying? Them guys still got life in them. Cam Chancellor, especially Cam Chancellor, he drops down to, like I said, 83 speed. Put him in that sub-line package, run that big nickel G. He's a monster. He's a brand new middle linebacker at 30-something years old. You know what I'm saying? So I think how we play on our rosters and how people managing different things would be really interesting, man. I think teams who are lower rated have a chance to really destroy whatever Madden says and really can build up a monster team.
You know, I see that the opposite. I think if you don't know you really have to know what you're doing with the lower rated teams. I feel more so than ever because the speed threshold is different, but talent is still talent. And if you're trying out a 73 overall team against a 93 overall team, there's a big difference there in the actual play on the field.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but I mean, if let's say I'm the Dolphins, right?
Yeah.
Dolphins aren't in a position to win right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean they're not in a position to grab talent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay.
Yeah. In that regard, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, let me look at this team. Let me think how I like to play. This first year, I could just, I can make the scheme fit to me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't expect to take them. I can't expect to take Tannehill. They don't have Landry anymore and try to make a playoff push and a run. It's not real. It's not real. Let me get the pieces that I need, build around, like you said, build around my stars. And next year I come out blazing. In year 3, I'm gonna see you. You know what I'm saying? That's what Cletus does. He takes the first 2 years, he plays possum or whatever. Come to year 3, 4, 5, then he comes out the gate smoke. While everybody else is kind of burnt out, lost players, a salary cap, franchise. We still franchising stars, holding on. You got these young gunners running around crazy on steroids. So I think
How much money do you have on your salary cap?
Say it again.
How much money do you have on your salary cap?
I got about $40 million.
It's weird because like I have close to 40 million, and everybody I talk to is close to 40 million, and I'm like, but in real life, the Giants don't have 40 million on the cap. I'm trying to figure out what I'm missing.
That's why I ain't even jumping on signing people yet. I know come that next season in the free agency, it's gonna be low caps.
I'm like, man, no, man. The Giants have about 8 mil on the cap right now in real life. So I'm like, how the hell do I have 40 million?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You ain't getting me.
I can't figure out what it is.
Yeah, me neither. And I know how EA plays. We sign all these guys, and next year with free agent, we got 1.1 million. And we need
no, negative 5.6.
Right. We can't even sign draft players. They're like, you gotta cut somebody. No, you ain't getting me. And everybody begging for cap penalties to be erased.
You right?
Yeah.
Not only that, for me, even if that money is to the good, I know I got Odell and Landon coming up, so that's that right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right, like it's. I'm not getting caught up in all that. I'm signing who I need to sign. I've already made 2 trades. I'm about to post those. I'm trying to make this one monster trade. I'm really trying to build up, man. If I can get this one last trade off, what's a game changer, man? I think it's gonna be the biggest trade of year 1.
That'd be some good stuff. I haven't even talked trade with anybody. I know Pi hit me up for.
It's two people we don't trade to in this league. Green Bay and the Jets. You don't trade to them guys.
Some of the best trades I've made have been with Green Bay and New York. Every year.
They like you. It's because you're on the cool kids list. They don't trade with me. They don't.
I get, not only do I trade with them every year, the people I get from them always want to be core game changers. Like I remember this one trade I made with Cletus for Randall Hallmiller. It was like a 4th safety for him, but he was superstar everything. It's just he was loaded with Jamal Adams and everything. He traded him to me, and I put him next to Collins. That's when I made them Super Bowl runs, man.
Yeah, but what did it cost you though? That's the thing. It's not that I don't like trading with them.
Think about this.
The price is too high. Sometimes the price is too high.
Think about this. The fact that I don't remember what it cost me means it wasn't. I mean, you know what? Cletus gets a bad rap, and I've always said this, but it's because people are jealous of him, and that's just the truth. That I'm going to say what it is when it comes to trades.
He's a genius.
Right. But people always think that Cletus is taking advantage of people or getting over people, but he's not. If anything, it's the exact opposite. Most said this, and it's the realest shit ever about Cletus. Cletus typically overpays you for your talent. Like, yes, Cletus might covet Devonta Freeman, but Cletus is going to give you a starting caliber linebacker, a starting caliber corner, a second in a tackle. And it's like, well, why am I going to say no? Because it's Freeman and I'm caught up on the name on his jersey. That gives me better value for my team. So he does that with 2 or 3 people, which results in him having like 5 picks in the first round. And then when we're drafting, all the hate comes out. Oh, Cletus is cheating. Why do you guys keep trading with him? Oh, you're stupid. No, dumbass. I'm doing what's best for my team. I don't care what he did with other people. The deal me and him made me a better team. So why am I not going to take it?
Yeah, I think he has the best offseason management or just team management, roster management by far that I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? He makes you a deal that's hard to refuse. He makes you a deal that's hard to refuse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I don't hate it. I think it's genius. I want to know how he's drafting these stars. You know what I'm saying? I want the code. I want the code. Cletus, if you watching, bro, I want the code.
Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you one thing about Cletus. I can give you some insight right now. I can't give the code because I don't know the code, but I kind of do know the code. And here's the code. Cletus wakes up in the morning and eats Madden. When he takes his first break at work, he eats Madden. When he takes lunch, he eats Madden. When he comes home, he eats Madden. Like, I talk to Cletus a lot. And sometimes I want to go, hey, man, can we not talk about the game like for one time, bro? Can we just talk about life? Can we talk about how we're doing? Like,
Madden is life. Madden is life. Let him tell it.
Cletus, man, go outside, brother, and get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Go dance with that girl on the country line, brother. Like, can we not, like, Cletus eats, breathes, sleeps, and shits Madden. I don't care what it is. If it's a text, hey, man, I was thinking about this in the game. If it's a call, hey, man, did you see this on the game? Hey, that dude is about that Madden life to the point where it's like, hey, like, I like Madden too, but shit, brother, I'm doing some other shit beside Madden right now, man. I'm trying to make it happen.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask you about let's talk about routes and things like that. Like last year, you know, two routes that kind of dominated our league and I guess the community as well was the C routes and AKA, you know, my out routes. You know what I'm saying? How do you see those routes affecting this year?
C routes, I think, are going to be trickier. I think people are creatures of habit, so people are still going to try to do what they think traditionally works. But because the zones play a little differently and the coverages are better disguised, I think you're going to see a lot more picks, and they're not clear-cut slam dunks like they were years prior, but people are still going to try them. The out route's the out route. I mean, it's still effective, especially. Yeah, the out routes still, both plays are still going to be effective, but I think the out route's going to be far more effective than the C route because I think depending on the C route, that's one thing people don't understand. All C routes are not built equal. All out routes are, but C routes, there are a lot of different variations to C routes. Even if you look at like 5 different corner strike plays, the C route's different on all 5 of them. So where they break at and how somebody's playing them are going to have a lot to do with it. Can it still work? Yes. But I think last year it was 90% effective. This year, I think it might be 50% effective, which is still a high rate. But there's going to be a decent amount of picks because zones and man play much better.
Yeah, and what's the key thing is route running. Route running is huge.
Yeah.
Short, medium, and deep route running. I think all those play a point. I think that route that's going to be slept on, I think that's super effective. It's going to be the old school curl route. Simple curl route.
You know what? That to me has been one of the most underrated plays.
Curl flats right now is a beast. Simple curl flats where the two guys going to flat and the guys going kind of the zone. If they go straight up as man, if it's the zone, they kind of break in and then sit in that zone. It's so effective. So effective. It's so underrated. It's so under the radar.
Think about what we said about Aaron. Aaron has made a living off running that type of stuff. Like, you don't need to be like Eric Coryell to be effective in the game. I'll tell you what I think, too. I think outside observations, I think there's going to be a lot more interceptions. Like, well, if you look at Daddy Leagues, you always have them dudes like, I love Ravens Rel, but typically, if I look at Daddy Leagues, he had 50 interceptions a year. Him and DZ. I think you're going to see a lot of that this year, too, because I think a lot of people are going to struggle with the run game, and you're going to see a lot less running teams. So you're going to see a lot more of a 70-30 pass balance, which if you've got to throw the ball more, you're liable to be more picked off. So I think you're going to see a lot of more lower scoring games this year because the big plays aren't there. We talked about it earlier. I can hit an 80-yard bomb and get tackled on the 3 and get held to 3. So if you look at the combination of taking away the big plays, zones and man playing better, running being neutralized somewhat, I think it's going to be a lot more West Coast offense, a lot more passing, a lot of picks. It's not going to be uncommon for me to have 4 picks and the person I'm playing to have 4 picks. And to me, it'd be a 17-10 game. Like, especially in the first few months, I see a lot of that.
Yeah, I just said, especially with, I think, and, you know, it's funny, this year the purple routes actually played pretty good this year. where in past they've been broken. I think they actually played the curl flat pretty good. They really played the corner routes pretty good. So I think people not being able to determine what's the difference between the curl flat, the cloud flat, and the quarter flat, and cover four. And I think it's going to be very interesting. And there's also two different type of cover fours this year. If you can notice, a cover four palms and a cover four quarters.
Yeah.
And the difference is the safeties and how the safeties play. If you look at them, two of them play like a kind of deep half in the middle, almost a third. The other ones play a quarter, like a fourth. So it'd be interesting to see, man, how this year pans out. Who's going to sit up top? What teams do you think? Who you think? Give me your top three teams and then your sleeper team for this year one.
The top what?
Your top three teams and then the sleeper teams for year one.
I think three is too hard to say because I think it's the easy thing to do is to just trot out the names that you think traditionally are good, but it's a different game this year. I can't give you a top three. I can tell you one person who I've got circled as a sleeper in the NFC is Mo. I felt Mo was on the cusp a lot of last year. He just couldn't get over the hump, especially in USFL. I think he's a little more focused. I think he's had a full year to really get the game under his belt. So I think he's in a tough division with me and Redskins, but I still think his gameplay is going to be good. So to me, he's going to be a sleeper. Rams. I'm saying he's a sleeper, but he's not. The only reason why I'm saying it is he was the Raiders the last 2 seasons in the AFC. He moved over and took Sonner's place with the Rams, and a lot of people are not going to realize that he's actually Raiders, and he's going to push.
I didn't know that.
Huh?
I didn't know that. I didn't know to do Raiders Nation.
Yeah, that's what, right. Now you know why I'm saying he's a sleeper. It's not because
now I gotta take him serious. Now I can't look at him as stunner.
Yes.
Welcome to the NFC. Welcome to the NFC. Go down.
That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. As a sleeper, not skill level, but people are gonna think, because the Rams ain't been shit since I've been in the USFL. So somebody's gonna go into LA to play him and think, this is fun or somebody, and get their ass tore out the frame. If you look at that dude's skill level with that roster, man, bro, Gurley, Sue, Donald, the receivers, that defense.
I'm gonna give him division. I think and Dre is there now, right? Dre's the 49ers now, right?
Yes, he is. Because I want to say
that's gonna be his competition.
Yes, because Tick moved to Cleveland. Yep.
That's gonna be his competition. That's whoever wins them 2 matchups wins that division. That's a good division.
Hey, just so you know though, because I talked to Dre a decent amount. That's Dre's boy. Dre's the one that got him into the league.
Oh, really?
So there's a little history right there too.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Right. See, that's why I put him as a sleeper. And I'm like, he's not a sleeper because he coulda, woulda, shoulda. He's a sleeper because it's gonna take people a season to realize, hey man, this dude's whooping our ass. Who is this? Oh damn, that's the old Raiders dude.
Yeah, I wanted him to come back too because I reached out to him right when he lost to Cletus in that last playoff round. I was like, y'all was going for you. Okay. You shot me with your skills. I was like, I hope they invite you back next year, bro. Like you earned the spot for real.
That's why he's back as the Rams, because it was like, hey man, it's Aaron's team, but at the end of the day, dude was a great owner. He played his games. He never caused any issues in the chat. He can ball. It's like we don't want to lose this dude. Yeah. So those are 2 sleepers in the NFC. I mean, I'm trying to think of anybody else in the NFC. I think Kurt. I'll kind of put Kurt in the sleeper category, and the reason why I put Kurt there. Kurt was, especially the last 2 or 3 seasons in both the USFL and UGTFL, Kurt was on the money. And I think a lot of people kind of was waiting for the floor to fall out. Like, okay, he's doing good, but like
I wasn't around the USFL. I wasn't around.
But even that's what I'm saying. Everybody has that. He's playing good, but hey, man, this dude beat B toward the very last end. He beat Boone. Like this dude was balling.
Yeah, no, in the other league he balling, but just at USFL, NFC South code through me. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is, okay, but I feel if that's the case, you're gonna get pushed like you haven't been pushed in 2 or 3 years, bro, in that division. Ronnie always started out super strong, but Ronnie would tail off like before the break. Before
I think Ronnie's tired of me beating him. I think he's tired.
I think
his thumb is finally healed. I think his thumb is finally healed 100%. You know, he had a dislocated thumb or something last year. He told me he stepped down from the admin. I think that gives him more time to be focused and not worried about, you know, rules and regulations and pleasing owners. It'd be a good division.
It did, but I always tease Ronnie. Ronnie's problem is Ronnie loves his real life too much. And I don't mean that as a problem. Ronnie likes the ladies. Ronnie be out and about.
Listen, man, he had Carolina games 1 year. He was on the field. He was out here fishing.
I'm saying Ronnie enjoys life. So here's what I'm saying. It's easy for everybody to be pumped up August 25th. Now let's go back to what I told you about. Let's see where people at around Thanksgiving. Because that's when all that excitement tailed off and people is tired and they determine to either I like the game or I don't like the game or I'm going to be active or I'm not going to be active. Everybody's excited on August 25th. What do I always say? Everybody got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Everybody's going to win the Super Bowl on August 25th.
Yeah, they're going to do it October, November. I agree.
Huh?
I said I agree totally. Like you know, like the Giants in real life. They out of you know, Giants look like this, Giants look like that. But you can't really judge them till like November, December. Eli don't even get hot till that time. Anything else prior to that is irrelevant.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean that's it.
I want to see how Boone does as the Titans. First of all, Titans got a sweet uniform this year. The uniform.
We get on the Boone and Titans. Answer the question you asked me. Who's your top three in the NFC and your sleepers? And then we'll do the AFC. That's why I said I couldn't even.
I think the Redskins come out strong.
Huh?
I think the Redskins are going to come out strong.
Yeah. Although he hasn't had the game, I think he might have just got his PlayStation's been broke all this time. So I know he's going to come out strong, but he's probably going to be behind the 8 ball.
I don't see Mo beating you twice. I see only competition being the Redskins. I don't know what's up with Moondog. I used to put my faith in Moondog. I've learned my lesson. I'm not doing it anymore. Only because Mayor Wop is not around. That was his Super Bowl. Wop was Moondog's Super Bowl. Wop was riding around. I don't know what to get from Moondog. I got Redskins out of that division. I'm gonna take the Raiders out of that, the Raiders Nation dude, aka the Rams, out of that NFC West. He played phenomenal, and I mean he has a great roster, a nice, good young roster in the Rams. I don't know whose idea that was. Y'all should have gave him somebody like like the Bengals or something. Y'all should.
Hey, I'm with you, man.
They should not have gave that man that team, right? I'm gonna go with him.
Give him the Colt. Yeah.
NFC South, I'm gonna go with myself, and then I'm thinking is any other divisions? Redskins, Rams.
No, the Rams out the West. You said the Skins out the East.
Mm-hmm.
Paya out the North. You didn't say that, but
yeah, Paya.
Hold on, Drew's in the North now too. I think Drew's the Lions. Drew is the Lions. Drew's in the North now.
He don't have a roster though. He didn't get the game yet. I don't think he got the game yet, and I don't think he has the roster yet. Maybe year 2, not this first year.
So you got Redskins, Paya?
Yeah, Paya, of course.
And Rams.
Mm-hmm. Sleeper team. I mean, you're not really a sleeper. I think the Rams do. The Rams, because nobody know who he is.
That's why I had him as a sleeper. I have him, I have Mo, and I have Kurt.
I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. Out of the AFC, Cleveland doesn't have no competition in his division still. I give him that.
Although this Miami player is brand new and nobody knows nothing about him, I'm still going to go with Cletus too, regardless of who's in that division. But I'm just saying there's an unknown entity there now. Like he could be another Joe Deasy or he could be another Raider Nation. You don't know.
I don't know. AFC North, I'm going to go with Tick, because he's the Browns, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no disrespect to Bill and organized chaos, but that ain't going to work this Madden at all. We got to come up with a new game plan. That organized chaos is going to be – can't play that this year. And Tick Tick has 5 good solid plays. He's been chopping up BB Gap all summer, and
he's got 7 now.
Yeah, he reached out to me, said he got 7 good plays now.
He let me know, hey, because of you and Gates, I got 7 plays now.
Yeah, 7 plays. So he's added 3 core plays to his offense. I think those 3 plays are going to be enough to get over Pittsburgh. AFC West, I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right, sounds good.
I went against him last year. He went right to the Super Bowl and proved me wrong. I'm going with him this year. And I'm going to go with Boone in that division. Boone in his division with the Titans. I think he has a young team. And he has Mariota. He has a good running back. With Henry, I know low-key he was thinking about shipping him. So if guys are interested, hit him up. But if he gets the right running back, he's gonna be pounding. It's gonna be deadly. I think Boone's gonna easily sweep that division. So.
Well, and Boone's been putting in some good time on the game.
Yeah.
Good time.
I think my sleeper team out of AFC. Yeah, it'd be the New Dolphins on them. Again, nobody did unknowns. You know, when
I agree with your picks for Div, but I'm also going to add as a sleeper T. Wills, the Colts. T. Wills was borderline. I want to say he made playoffs toward the end of last year. He only been with us about 2 or 3 seasons.
You know, I'm gonna go with the Jags. I'm gonna go with the Jags. As a sleeper.
Right now.
I'm trying to think who the Jags.
Nick is his name on the DM.
Oh, yeah. Hey, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you something. Those are gonna be some hell of a games between him and Boone. I played Psych Squad as the Eagles a lot last year, and he was right there with me and Skins. The 3 of us would trade off all the time on wins and losses.
Yeah,
he's gonna be there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with the Jags. That's my sleeper team.
Damn, that's South. Thinking about it, Colts, T. Wills, and that might mess up my sleepers. I forgot Psych Squad though.
I like T. Wills' game. I like his game. I think he was a couple plays away last year. Like he was a couple plays away, always from running the game too.
Yeah.
I like the Colts game. I think the Jags is gonna surprise some people. I mean, because they got that roster, yo. They hands down got an amazing young roster. All you gotta do is just play to their strength. How do you think the Ravens will do Rel with the quarterback that they got? That everybody's like going crazy over it. It's the new Michael Vick.
I don't know. Look, the one thing I've always said about Rel plays a solid game, but Rel always throws a lot of interceptions. And Jackson's not super accurate. I don't know if he's going to add. I like Rel's game. If he cleans up the picks, he could be a problem. He just throws a lot of picks. So, I don't know. I don't even know if he's going to use him over Flacco. I'm going to say, yeah. Actually, I take that back because I know he's traded for Cam. He's always tried to get mobile dudes in it, so I'm pretty sure he's going to use Jackson. I don't know because I've yet to play Jackson on the game. I don't know how he plays or how dynamic he is. Have you played anybody that had Lamar Jackson?
I haven't played with him yet, but he's like the phenom right now. I'm mad.
Well, speaking of that, that's how I feel about Baker.
What, your young quarterback?
No, Baker Mayfield on the Browns.
Oh yeah, the Browns. Now, do you start him if you're the Browns owner? Do you start him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Be my future. I mean, I like Tyrod, but especially I start him. I start Baker Mayfield. What do you do?
For sure, you start him. You start Jackson. You trade Flacco. You trade them guys.
I wouldn't trade Tyrod because they got career injuries back. You're one hit away from having a problem. You need a good, viable quarterback, but I'm starting Baker. As a matter of fact, while you're bullshitting, I'm debating, and I'm talking with this about Cletus about starting Kyle Lauletta because I'm just not a David Sweat fan. I'm starting Lauletta over Manning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to make that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I like about this match so far. You have to acknowledge what type of team, who you're going to be right now. You can't do it year 3. It has to be right now. You have to.
I will say this though. This is the best I've seen Manning play in the last 2 or 3 Maddens. Like, so
but you know how many years you're going to get from him. So my question is, as you the Giants owner, are you trying to win now or are you trying to win later?
Well, see, that's not it. Well, it's a catch-22 because Manning's one of them dudes. There's certain dudes, Manning, Brady, Breeze, Rivers. You want to look at them and go, they're 37. I'm only going to get 1 year out of them. But then 7 seasons down the line, these dudes are still around, and then free agency. And it's like, fuck. Like, the dude still played 7 seasons at 37.
Yeah, like Big Ben played till he's almost 50. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it's like legit, every Madden I've had, Manning's won a good 6, 7 seasons. It's just I cut him off at 2 or 3.
So what do you do now?
Huh?
What do you do now?
I don't know, because he's playing really well. Honestly, what I want to do, or what I should do to answer that question, is start Lauletta as starter and play a few games with him. And if I like what I see, or I feel I can work with it, and it's not horrible and it's not going to kill me, and he's decent, because his numbers are pretty close to Manning's in terms of attributes: throw, short, medium, deep, etc. He's faster. Eli Manning's probably 17 mil on my damn cap, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Do you take that hit? Do you take that $80 million hit for somebody who you can build up? He has a great monster year, especially with how gameplay gives you like bonus, like rewards you now. Let's say if he has a monster year, do you still keep Manning at that $18 million cap, or do you trade Manning to a team like Cletus? You know what I'm saying, or like a a team with like a lesser quarterback, and get some value out of him.
If you Cletus, why do you take Manning? You got Sam Darnold.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, because the Jets don't really have.
Oh no, I got you. What I've done traditionally, and it's funny because me and Bill are always in the same boat because he's got Big Ben. Same scenario, right? Typically, we'll hold on to him and play him for 2 or 3 seasons, and when their contract comes up, or they get in the last year of that contract, we let them ride. Now, what's cool is now that we're in Madden 19. Manning might only have 1 year left on that contract. So really, technically, if I wanted to, I could play him this season, not resign him, no cap hit, and run with Lauletta, which is what I might look at, unless Lauletta is just really impressive when I run with him for a few games now.
So if it's me, how I would play it, to be honest with you, I would start an off-season franchise, and I would just send it. I would just send it. And see how many years is the Manning going to stay around, or how long Big Ben going to stay around, or how long a Flacco going to stay around, or Drew Brees. And that would determine, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I send it, like I have the Patriots in another league, it's like I need to go ahead and run an offline Patriots. Just send it to see if he's going to retire after year 1, or you're going to give me 2 or 3 more seasons. That way I know to build around him or look to the future.
I'm going to build around Lauletta any which way you look at it. But as weird as it sounds, I can build around Lauletta while still using Manning, if that makes sense.
Now, how do you do that with the new system? Because if they're not on the field, they don't really get as much XP, and they don't get a chance to get them accuracy points.
Agreed. But I know what he's capable of doing now. So if I didn't pull the trigger on him for 2 seasons, I'm not saying when he came right in, he'd be great. But see, last year it hurt me where I had stumbled for a season or 2 because I had that situation with Webb. But Lauletta plays a lot better than Webb. By then, my schemes are dialed in. I can readjust some of my plays to make it to where when I ease him in there, I'm not asking him to make run the offense the exact same way I have with Manning. I can make it work. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to start playing with Lauletta out the gate. And if I like what I see, I may go with him out the gate because Manning's playing. Honestly, I haven't seen him play this well on the game in like 3 Maddens.
Yeah. I think stars are stars and average players are average players. There's a huge gap. There's a gap between, guys who are good and guys who are just average.
Yeah.
I think even if you just sprinkle him in maybe on certain formations where he doesn't have to throw anything outside of his strength, I think that could probably help. Certain formations where he only has to throw like an out, or he only has to throw a slant or a drag, nothing really deep or something. That might could benefit as well too. I was just curious to know how you feel about the younger guys versus the older guys.
I'm not one of those guys that's going to write a season. Like I'm not one of those. I'm just not going to win this season, so I'm just going to work to build my team up. I'm always going to try to compete. So because that's my mindset, I'm always looking to use the guys that's going to put me in the best position. The other thing with Manning, you're right about the simming, but just the way we said certain formations don't change, what thing hasn't changed, Manning always plays 4, 5, 6 seasons, every Manning. I don't care what his age is. Big Ben always plays 6-7 seasons. Aaron Rodgers always plays 6-7 seasons. So I know I'm going to get at least, if I wanted to, 4 or 5. The problem is when his contract comes up, I'm not going to re-sign him.
Right. So why take the hit now? Because you want to win now, or even like that's what I'm saying. Like you want to win now. Do you feel like your Giants team is ready to compete right now for the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Like take the overalls out, and I feel this way about them in the real NFL. At the end of the game, talent wins games. And if you have a good scheme with good talent, if you look at that offense, you have Manning playing at a high level on the game. You have a potential rookie of the year candidate in the backfield of Barkley, which is something the Giants never had. Evan Ingram is still one of the best tight ends on Madden, 90-plus speed. You got a healthy Odell back. You got Shepard. You look at that defense, you got Jenkins. You got Collins. You got Snacks. You got Olivier. You got Alec Ogletree from the Rams. The Giants can compete right now.
With that offensive line, though, you said the offensive line is suspect.
The line is much improved. Like the line is not garbage. I said earlier the line it caused me some issues, but you still got Nate Solder who's more than serviceable. You still got a beast in Hernandez. You still got a serviceable center. Jerry's all right. Flowers, who the hell knows what you're gonna get? So I'm not saying on a scale of 1 to 10, I give that Giants line a 6.5. Which, if you understand what you're working with, you build your scheme around that.
How is that?
The Giants have never had a great line in any of these Maddens. I've always had to build that line, and I still compete.
Yeah, but it's late. It's usually like year 3, year 4, though.
But the point I'm trying to make is this: on paper, if you look, the Giants are lowly rated overall because they had a horrible season because they was depleted with injuries. All of those people are back. So yes, it's right that they're a 73 overall team. But don't mistake that for their void of talent and they can't compete. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, the Giants can't play for a Super Bowl right now. If I took that talent and I put them in the right situation and I executed correctly, they had the right scheme, why can't they? They have pieces all on both sides of the ball, all across the board.
Yeah, listen, that's your team. I'm not saying they can't. I just want
Yeah.
The question is, do you feel as though, and I guess, to be honest, all 32 coaches should say that. They should be able to answer that question the same way you had. They have the right pieces, they have the right scheme, and every team in the NFL has an opportunity to compete.
Say that, but I realistically have talent.
Yeah.
You can say that if you're the Colts, but besides Andrew Luck, what are you working with? Like, you can say that all day long. You don't have the talent.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I legit have the talent.
Yeah. That might be true.
The Giants didn't have a running game. Can't say that no more. The Giants always had good defense. The Giants have an explosive potential on offense. The pieces are legit there. Like, the Colts can't legit say they have that talent.
Yeah, they're missing some pieces. I agree. They're missing some pieces. So,
like what we were saying earlier about Drew and the Lions. You said he doesn't have the roster. I disagree. The defense is not that good, but Detroit has a lot more talent than people realize. First of all, Stafford low-key is one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the game. They can make all throws and plays. They got a dual beast, two-headed monster in Golden Tate and damn Marvin Jones Jr. I don't know what they're doing for tight end because I know they let Ebron go. Their running game is but there's pieces there. And on defense, hey man, that boy D. Slay Jr. is my dude, man.
Yeah,
they got some people.
Yeah, he's a monster for sure. For sure, monster. How do you feel about are there any who you think as far as QB wise? Well, let me how do I want to say this? Teams like the Panthers, teams like the Vikings with their new quarterbacks. How do you see them matching up with people this year? You feel like does an owner like Ronnie does he try to win now? Like, all right, that's what I'm saying. Like, what teams do you think should focus on winning now? What teams should you think should focus on rebuilding?
Wow, like I would need to see the teams.
Like if you're the Bills owner, do you rebuild? You try to rebuild, or do you try to win now? And I'm not saying Joe D's, I'm just saying not based on his skills. I'm just saying just the market.
No, I got you. The Bills are weird because they're in flux, right? You're not going to get that much more out of Shady McCoy. It really depends what Josh Allen's going to bring to the table. They traded Tyrod. I think they sent the message in real life that they're trying to rebuild right now. That's why you move Tyrod Taylor. You don't start Peterman, and you bring in Josh Allen. But they got in Kelvin Benjamin. Shady's still there, but he's getting a little older. Incognito's gone. To me, on paper and in real life, the Bills are kind of rebuilding. If you're DZ in the franchise, you try to win now. No disrespect, but he's not going to win now.
Yeah.
So you can try to win now, but you're not going to. But why not go out there and try to win every game possible? Because even if he gives his best, he's not with more than 7 or 8 games, and he's still going to get a decent piece to build on his team. No, him not winning.
Right. And what I mean by win, I don't mean like not go out there and compete. I'm saying as far as you not try to get some pieces, make some moves. For example, like do the Bills have a quarterback since they traded Tyrod?
They drafted Josh Allen in the first round, like in the top 15.
Is he like is he like one of the top rookies?
Yeah, he's one of the top rookies.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. You got him. They brought in Benjamin. They're trying to accumulate pieces now. If he can, the problem with the Bills to me though, on defense they're getting really old. They got a beast corner Tre'Davious White though. Goodness.
Yeah.
But they're old on defense. They're getting older. I think he needs to try to accumulate talent. Yeah, but it's hard because he doesn't have a lot of collateral.
You got them picks.
Well, you got them picks, but it's like I said, he has maybe one of the best young up-and-coming corners in the game that doesn't get talked about. I'm talking about a dude with Jalen Ramsey type skill.
Right.
No exaggeration. So if you're him, it's like, do you want to trade that dude to create a hole to fill other holes? It's like he's got to be careful. Yeah.
No, I agree. I guess every coach is different, man. Every coach to me is different. I was just curious, what teams do you feel like need to really try to compete, and what teams really need to figure out, like, let me just sit back this year and try to do my best I can, but I really need to make some moves and make some happen.
On the AFC side, I like what you said. Miami needs to try to accumulate some pieces. That roster kind of took some hits, and you're in there with Cletus. The Bills need to try to accumulate some pieces. Believe it or not, I think Strong needs another piece or two to get over the Cletus hump. Okay? Like, they lost Nate Solder.
They need the offensive line. They need offensive line.
Well, they're getting older. Hey, McCourty's getting up there. Like, the Strong might need a piece or two. The Colts need a piece or two. I think the Titans, Boone is damn good, and he's got a good team, but I'm not a big fan of that receiving core. I mean, Delaney Walker's a damn good tight end. He's getting pretty old. The line's damn good. The run game's damn good. Mariota can do some good things. The defense, Arakpo's getting up there. They can use a piece or two, but Boone can definitely play to win now. Cleveland can play to win now with that squad. Who else in the AFC? I'm trying to spitball it and think. Kansas City, they're in a weird place. Adams going to make them good.
I think they can win. They got Tyreek Hill. They got the quarterback. They got the running back.
You said they got the quarterback. What do you know about Mahomes? This is going to be his first start, NFL start. You don't know what you got. It's like what you asked me about Jackson. It's no different than Mahomes. He played good on Madden last year, but you don't know for a fact that he's going to be that dude.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. What do you feel about like somebody like Doc and the Broncos? What should he do?
Oh, wow. Damn good question. They got Keenum in. I don't know how he's going to play on the game. He might get some Madden love this year. I love what they did with Bradley and Chubb on the defense. They lost Akeem Talib. Thomas and Sanders are getting older.
They still got Chris Harris Jr., right?
Yeah. And Bradley Roby, who low-key is a pretty damn good corner. Doc has to play it. Doc has to be smart. Doc can play to win now, but Doc needs to start building now instead of doing what he typically does and waiting for dudes to become 100 years old. Okay, Von Miller's 60. Now I'm going to try to move him. Nah, bro, you need to be cognizant of these windows of these older players and start looking for their heir apparents. Try to win. It's like what I just told you with the Giants. I can try to win with Eli now, but I need to be mindful that there's a ceiling there in terms of how I'm building a team. Not just wait until it's over and then go, well, shit, now I got to put somebody in there. That's what Doc needs to do. That was a good call out. Broncos are interested.
Say it again.
That was a good call out. Broncos are interested.
Yeah, because they still got some value. Like we talk about how this man kind of gives these older guys a little bit more extended life, a little more battery in their back. But he can't ride that battery till E. You know what I'm saying? He has to find a balance. He has to find a balance.
With the older guys, yes, they have more value, but you hit it right on the head. You still have to have balance. You have to have your key veterans, but you have to have their heir apparents in the system at least.
Yeah, miss the process of grabbing his predecessor. If you see his predecessor, you grab him. Yeah.
Perfect example for somebody that always does that masterfully, Cletus.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that guy come across that free agent, that draft board, you think, oh, he can replace Von Miller? Then you grab him right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You still play Von, you still run him, but you get that young boy in there on the field somewhere, you start getting him some reps. That's why I think this was able to make all them trades, because it sounded crazy. Well, you're going to trade that guy? Hell yeah, I'll take him. To us, we're thinking, well, why would we trade that guy? To him, it's like, I got 3 more just like him, because he wasn't content to just sit on that one dude.
Yeah, I agree. A team like the 49ers, what do? You got Garoppolo now. Do you build? Do you try to,
To me, they need to build. There's just not enough talent there. Yeah, you got Garoppolo. Who's the number 1 receiver? I don't even know. Exactly. They lost Carlos Hyde on the running back. Who's the number 1 running back? Carlos Hyde's in Cleveland. That's why they need to rebuild.
Right. All right. NFC East. Who needs to rebuild? Redskins. Well, Redskins, the owner, he's been winning with that team. But Watt built that team. He didn't build that team.
And you hit that right on the head, and it's funny because I think
he got Tony Dungy. He got what's the Gruden? He got a Gruden joint.
No, and you're right. And trust me, being in the division, I'm well aware of that. You ain't got John Ross now. You ain't got Parabin, bro. You can't live off that low hit stick. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, he wasn't there when Watt spent $140 million to get Buchanan on a free agent.
The chat. Oh, yeah, I got AP and Samaje Perine. Hey, AP's 90, bro. And Samaje Perine ain't scaring nobody. I mean, he's got Darius Geist there, but yeah, it's gonna be Jordan Reed's injury prone. It's gonna be real interested in Washington. Real interested.
Yeah. My division. The only team I feel like it, the Bucks. Do we have a Bucks on it?
What, going to?
Okay.
The other Bucks owner, he's been AWOL, and I looked this morning at that, and we're gonna move forward with somebody else because we can't get over them.
Okay. So not the Bucks. Then what does the Panthers do? What does Ronnie do with the Panthers?
Ooh, that's a good one. You got Killer Cam. He loves McCaffrey. Receivers. They got
no Benjamin.
Huh?
They don't have Benjamin no more, right?
They don't, but they got a pretty high draft pick. They got a pretty good receiver in the first round, but you're right. I mean, aside from Olsen and maybe that first round draft pick, I'm not seeing the receivers there. On defense, Thomas Davis is 100 now.
They still got Luke Kuechly, right?
Yeah, they still got Kuechly. They
got some young, speedy cornerbacks.
Huh?
He has some young, speedy cornerbacks.
Yeah, I think he's a piece or two away. He still needs, like, if he's gonna bang heads with you, he needs more.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see them as a threat as far as rosters, as far as matchups and lineups. Once I get past Davis and Kuechly, I don't fear nobody on defense. If I can shut down McCaffrey and make sure Cam doesn't run around all crazy, or either decide to let Cam run around all crazy and let shut everything else down, I don't really see them as a threat yet. Same thing with the Saints. I think the Saints need some pieces as well.
I don't think the Saints need nothing.
You don't think the Saints need nothing?
I mean, I could. Okay.
When do you start looking for Drew Brees'? When do you start looking for Drew Brees' replacement?
Now, right now. I'm not saying you start somebody over Drew Brees, but you look for his replacement right now. But dude's got that two-headed monster in the backfield with Ingram and Kamara. He's good on receivers, decent tight end, decent offensive line, so you're good on that side of the ball. On the defensive side, that dude outside of Jacksonville might have the best young secondary in the game with Marcus Lattimore, Marcus Williams, and I forget the name of the other corner. You still got Cam Jordan coming off that edge. You still got pluggers on the D line and edge rushers. You got Stephon Anthony and decent linebackers. I think he's one or two pieces away, which you can say for even you and me and anybody else. Like, even if you look at your team, you can't tell me there's not a piece or two more you don't want.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to get. I'm 2 pieces away.
Right.
I'm trying to lock right now.
Now, the Saints are in that same category. Now, what might jack the Saints up is what you used to say last year about Strong. The Saints are ready right now. But if he doesn't develop a backup plan for Brees, it's going to be real damn interesting in about 2 seasons when he's got to bring in, like Sean had to bring in Brady's backup. That's when it's going to get interesting.
Yeah. Now, if you're the Vikings owner, what do you do?
Nothing.
I think Vikings are ready to go. You think Vikings are ready to go?
I'm looking right now to Super Bowl running from him. Cousins, Diggs, Thielen, Dalvin Cook's back, that line.
Trey Wayne's still there.
Kyle Rudolph, Trey Waynes, Xavier Rhodes, Hitman Harrison Smith, the Cornelius Griffin off that D line. I don't do nothing. I sit back and say,
you still got Anthony Barr, right?
Huh?
Still got Barr, right?
Yep. So when you ask what do I do, I strap it up and say, let's make this run. That's what I do. I don't need to do nothing.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting.
The Rams are ready for a Super Bowl right now. With that talent and that roster, they don't need nothing.
Yeah. Seahawks have on them?
Yes. They need some pieces.
Who's the Seahawks owner?
It's a new guy in the league that Pyre brought in. Brand new.
Oh God. He knows what this guy's gonna be like.
He's talked in the chat a little bit. He's been cool, but right now, but you're right. We don't know how that's going to translate. But they need some pieces. Seattle needs some pieces.
Okay. Well, Seattle still got Sherman. They still got Thomas. They still got Cam.
They don't got Sherman. Sherman's with the Niners.
Oh, that's
right. Niners. Cam was talking about retiring. They got Earl. I don't know who that other corner is they got on the island. Now, I do like the addition of Shaquem Griffin.
Yeah.
The rookie's looking nice with his brother. They still got B. Wagner.
They still got Russell on the other side, Russell Baldwin. That's a good combo.
Pieces, though. Okay, but outside of Baldwin, and now they lost Jimmy Graham to Green Bay. Like Russ is really running out of weapons. They don't have a surefire number 1 yet. They don't know if it's going to be Rashard Penny or Chris Carson. They don't have any receivers outside of Baldwin. They don't have a tight end. Their line is suspect.
They ain't ready. Yeah.
That's why I said they need some pieces.
Yeah, they ain't ready yet. Who's the last team in that division? The Rams, 49ers.
NFC West, Rams, Niners.
Oh, the Cardinals.
Oh, that's right. It's Joe the Jet.
Listen to me. Johnson, in my opinion, is the best halfback on the game. Hands down. All around. Not taking anything away from Le'Veon Bell. But Johnson, to me, is the best running back on the game. Hands down. Hands down. Do you agree or disagree?
That's hard to argue, but if I had to, absolutely had to, I got to take L. Bell.
No, I'm not taking Bell.
I got to take Bell, man. And he's going to stay on the field.
I'm taking Johnson all day. That man has everything.
Madden should be like 10.
Johnson has everything. I mean, they have him ranked at like overall 94.
The ball out of the backfield?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Le'Veon catch the ball out of the backfield? Because you act like he can't do that.
I don't know if Le'Veon Bell will give me the whole season.
Le'Veon, you don't know what?
I don't know if he's gonna give me a whole season.
Are you kidding me? You think David Johnson is?
Madden wise, yeah.
Man, get out of here, man.
I ain't never had an issue with him. Listen to me. Do we have a Cards owner? Do we have a Cards owner?
Huh?
You have a Cardinals owner?
Yeah, it's Joe. Joe the Jets from
Listen to me, Joe. If you watching this right now, I give you either Coleman or Freeman. Let me get Johnson, bro. Let me get Johnson. I'm gonna put the work in. I'm gonna put the work in.
Hey, you know what? I got a shout out real quick from my boy Cletus. He said, let Kurt and the Saints know, hey, he's holding on Teddy Bridgewater. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Low key, that's a damn good move. If I'm saying I make that move, right?
What I'm saying to you is this, though, Ty. Teddy Bridgewater, the backup, right?
Yep.
But when does he play, though? That's the thing. You don't sit down, Drew Brees.
No. Okay, but I mean, if I'm the Saints and Cletus is reasonable, which he always is on the trade, I'm getting Teddy Bridgewater right now. Right now. Now I'm not spending a draft pick on a quarterback for the future. It's not like you're gonna have to super build this dude up. I'm not saying he's ready to go right now. You don't sit Breeze, but I need to have somebody in place for when Breeze ain't there no more.
I'm gonna do. If I was you, I ain't gonna lie. I now have a read option in my playbook from the Saints, and I'm running it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drew Brees gonna do everything, but I'm for sure hitting on with some read options. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to go back to what you said. Nah, man, I still can't believe you think David Johnson's gonna give you more games played than Le'Veon Bell.
David Johnson, the best running back in the game, hands down.
How many games did David Johnson play last season? 3?
I'm saying Madden wise. He doesn't get. Listen. I used to have the Cardinals at one point.
Hey man, just so you know, when Bill finished the season, Darius Jackson was the all-time touchdown leader. You know who was right behind him? Le'Veon Bell.
That's because that's all they got. That's all they got.
But he was able to play 7 to 8 seasons with Bill.
That's all they got. That's all he had.
I mean,
Yo, Bill put his injury up to 100. I bet he would blast that time all that time.
all I'm saying is, look, I'm not discrediting DJ. He's a monster.
Here we go.
Le'Veon's 1 and David Johnson's 1A.
There we go. So Le'Veon Bell, you got best running back. Give me David Johnson. Best quarterback.
I hate to say this, man, because I don't want to hear this.
Tom Brady. Until he leaves Madden, Tom Brady best guy in the game.
Okay, are we talking Madden or NFL?
Madden.
I say Brady.
Brady. Until he leaves, it's Brady. Hands down.
If it's right, but it's not hands down. Because I can make a super strong case for, this is why I hate to say it, Aaron Rodgers. I can make that case. But that's why I asked if it's Madden or NFL, because it's two things.
Madden. We're talking Madden. We're talking Madden.
We're
talking Madden.
In the real NFL, yes, Paya, I'm going to give you your props, but I want you to clearly understand me, Paya. I'm looking at this camera. Right now, at this point in time, in the NFL, if I had to start a team, one of those two, I would start with Rodgers. But that's not to be confused with Rodgers is better than Brady over a career.
Why? Why Rodgers over Brady? Why?
The mobility, the arm strength, the accuracy.
I'm going Brady. His will to win is unmatchable.
You still, it can be unmatched. Hold on. It was matched last season when Philadelphia matched it.
What I'm saying is,
but
his will. I'm saying his personal will. I'm saying not the team as a collective.
Still, you don't think his personal will was strong against Philly in the Super Bowl? It was strong as hell. He couldn't overcome it. And New England continues to suffer hits to that talent pool. Nobody, just like the Spurs, sooner or later you're going to hit that wall. So you can have the will to win all day long, but they got rid of Nate Solder. They got rid of Deion Lewis. Devin McCourty's older. Like, they're taking too many hits in the real NFL personnel-wise. The gaps being closed. His will's always going to be his will to win. Peyton Manning still had the will to win when he retired, but he couldn't throw the ball downfield no more.
So it's saying Brady can't make the throws?
No. Brady can. And Brady's always done really well with less, but at a certain point, like he suffered too much attrition on that team. The only thing that's going to help Brady is that the AFC East sucks. Sorry, Cletus. The AFC East is trash. Okay? The Jets ain't ready. Miami's in flux and Buffalo's in flux. That's the only reason why Brady in New England is still going to win the East this year. But don't confuse that with when they play a Jacksonville type team that they're going to beat them because they don't have the talent.
Okay. Okay. We shall see.
Right. But on the game, best quarterback, I'm taking Brady.
Cool. Best receiver on the game.
Wow, that's Julio.
Julio Jones. Don't even think it. I don't even know why it took you that long to think it. I don't even know why.
Hold a second. Now, you keep saying that just like with Brady. You can't say you don't got to think about it because it's not like there's a big gap. The reason you know why I'm taking Julio? Because of the height. That's why. He ain't faster than Odell. He don't run better routes than AB. But going back to what I told you about the high point ball, now you combine this animal that's got the height, can run the routes.
That's what I'm saying. That's overall. That's what I'm saying. Hands down, overall. Who can do it all? Antonio Brown has the speed for sure. Odell Beckham is better on Madden than in his real life.
That's bullshit right there. Odell Beckham, before he got injured, was #1 in everything stats-wise in the NFL for a person through 3 years.
He be dropping balls, bro, in like clutch situations. He drop him and Dez Bryant drop the most balls in clutch situations, bro.
Odell does not drop that many balls. Have you seen his touchdown ratio? The only reason Jarvis Landry got over him is because he was injured this season. He was #1 in everything over Randy Moss, anybody in 3 years, in every category.
We shall see.
Monster in real life. He was 8 on the people's top NFL 100 before last year.
Odell Beckham is better than Julio in real life?
I can't say.
You can't say. No. The only two, Antonio Brown and Julio Jones, the best receivers in the game.
Everybody and anybody that's knowledgeable in the game will tell you it's 3 people. And they always lump them together. Antonio, Julio, and Odell. They're always.
I don't hear that conversation. I don't hear that conversation.
Huh?
I don't hear that conversation. I'm on the East Coast. I don't hear that conversation.
You don't hear that conversation because you don't watch sports no more and you ain't into sports.
Now we're getting personal. Now, because the brother want to stand for Cap. Take shots.
1 second. No. See, this is the second time you hit with that. How am I being You're not following the game, so you're not having them conversations. So you're not going to hear it. You're not following the game, bro.
Sorry.
That's not personal. I'm telling the truth.
I just tease you. I just tease you.
I'm sorry attacking you. I'm saying you're not following the game.
Tease you. Now, you're right. You're right. You're right. Give me the best tight end on Madden. Who you taking? If you gotta start your team Madden right now, tight end.
My boy, Evan Ingram. Now, I'm not saying, and that's why I asked you about Madden in the NFL, because in the
Madden.
Huh?
I said Madden.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you ask me on Madden, Evan Ingram.
Yeah. Oh man.
Now, in the NFL, I don't think Evan Ingram's #1, but on Madden, I'm taking Evan Ingram.
Yeah. Madden.
He's basically a receiver.
I like Jared Cook. He's still on the Rams.
Damn, that's a good one.
I like Jared Cook.
Jared Cook is good. I wouldn't take him 1.
Yeah.
There are a few good people because if I don't take Evan, I would say Jordan Reed, but he's injury prone even on Madden. The other dude you got to look at, Travis Kelce, but Ingram is 90-something speed, bro.
Oh, is this he have 90 speed?
Yeah, he was 90 speed last year. He's 90 speed this year. With that height and that high point, that's why I'm going Evan Ingram. And his route running?
Yeah, that's not. I know they gave him that much of a rating. Who you got for defensive lineman? Watt? We can agree with Watt?
90 speed.
Yeah, for a tight end, that's amazing. We can agree that J.J. Watt, best defensive lineman?
I'm sorry?
So we can agree J.J. Watt, best defensive lineman?
Marcus, are you almost done?
Yeah. Yeah, I got
Linebacker?
it.
Who you got?
Huh?
You got a best linebacker. You taking it one linebacker.
That's who?
Linebacker.
Ooh. Golly. Madden wise?
Of course, Madden.
No, I know. I'm thinking Madden wise. Give me B. Wagner. Give me Bobby Wagner.
I'm gonna probably take Deion Jones from the Falcons.
Yeah, Wagner. Well, even everything he did in 18 on the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably take Deion Jones from the Vikings. From the Falcons.
Yeah.
Who you got as corner? Who you taking cornerback?
Without a doubt, not even close. Hands down, Jalen Ramsey. I played with the Jags in UGTFL, you know, and Ramsey is a certifiable monster.
Okay.
Who you got?
I mean, that's what everybody would say. To be honest with you, I can't. It's hard. If I don't take Ramsey, I don't know what his speed is and shit, but I always like Patrick Peterson, man.
He's always good, but Ramsey, oh my God. Eddie around 93, 94 speed. Give me Jalen.
That's what I'm saying. If we're not talking about just the speed, if speed wasn't really a factor, and which it is, I would go Patrick Peterson. But I mean, Ramsey is probably the best hands down guy on Madden. Sure. And then who you got at safety?
Woo! Until somebody shows me better, Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
Get out on Madden, he's the man.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man.
Those are some questions, man. I like that. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Just wonder, if you had to pick your team, who do you go with?
Huh?
I said, I wonder if you had to pick your team, who do you go with? That's all. That's what that question was.
Those are some good damn good questions.
Yeah. Any last questions before we get up out of here? I know this was a lengthy show. I don't know how long we've been rocking. Like 2 hours and 20 minutes. Or like 2 hours probably.
Started close to 11:30.
Yeah.
Because I got on late, so it's close to 2 hours. We can shut it down, brother.
I mean, there's anything I feel like, it's the first show back. I feel like we touched pretty much on everything. Is there anything that we kind of missed? Or anything you want to touch on? Normally you have some round robin questions. I feel
but like you said, I think there was a lot to cover and go over. I liked everything we touched on. I don't think we missed on anything, and I think you got to kind of wait until we get a little further in to really drill down on certain things. So I think we're perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anything to talk about routes? We talked about playbooks. Give me your top playbooks on offense and defense. Maybe top three.
I'll give you my top one because I always. Okay, well, top three playbooks on offense.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna rock with Patriots because of the way I play. Arizona traditionally, year in and year out, to me, always has a perfect blend of balance between run and pass. And the Saints always have a damn good playbook. Again, I'm saying this, keep in mind, I'm more pass-oriented. So the amount of shotgun formations and different schemes and routes they run with the way they mix in the run makes those three appealing for me. On defense, I always like the Ravens playbook. I always think Cincinnati is a hell of a defensive playbook because they got a multiple hybrid of certain books. And you can play a lot of different fronts in there. And they got my 4-6 in there. In addition to 4-3 and 3-4. Jets always has a good defensive playbook. Low key.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Patriots for offense for sure. Saints for offense for sure. And I think Cardinals do have a great book, but I think a sleeper book is the Rams.
Yes.
Like the Rams.
Yes.
Rams is a good book. And low key, a book that's always been impressive. It's like a mixture of everything. Is the Jets playbook for offense.
Mm-hmm. Your money on both of those. You're right.
Defense, I think the Patriots and Detroit have the best playbooks this year. Detroit has an identical playbook to New England, but they have dollar in it. So in my opinion, that's what makes Detroit gives the edge over the Patriots. I think if you're a 3-4 guy, you got to go Ravens or Chiefs. If you're a 4-3 guy, you got to go Bengals. Bengals are the 4-6 book, I think. Yeah. I think a book that also is pretty nice on offense is the West Coast book this year.
I haven't ran with it this year.
They got a shotgun now. They got far. They got near. They got pistol. They have some formations they never had before. And I think that's people can win a lot of games with that book as well. Yeah. I think that's it, man. I think that's pretty good for season 2, episode 1.
I think it's damn good. I'm pretty happy we got to run that out. Now, even if we didn't run it out for a little bit, at least like there isn't that gap. Like we kind of closed the gap and got into the new game. So I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah. When's week 1 actually start?
Monday.
Okay. So when we advance into week 4?
Tomorrow morning, 9:30.
Okay.
Well, 9:30
Eastern time or Western time?
9:30 EST.
Okay.
In the morning. Make sure everybody you cut down to 53. If you don't, the computer will do it for you.
That's the worst feeling, boy. That is the worst feeling. Because as soon as them boys hit the free agent list, they getting snatched.
That's exactly why I'm telling people, hey, you need to cut down. I know you enjoyed the weekend, and I enjoyed the weekend at the same time. Make sure you make them cuts, so the computer will take liberties.
And speaking of that, I want to also speak on the practice stealing, man. How do you feel about that?
I really don't feel anywhere about it one way or the other.
You like it or you don't like it? Or you rather be able to do it or not do it? Ty's the owner, not Ty's the commissioner. Because I know you know. You say something.
Right. And I'm kind of torn on it because on one end, I'm good with it being on. Although I hate people doing it just to be spiteful, like I don't like that element of it. Like I don't like, I'm just gonna take this person away from you because I want to hurt you type of shit. Like if you legit see a dude on my team that you feel, hey, he's not using them and I can start this guy right now and you use him, I'm good with that. But if your intention is I just want to take him from your team to be spiteful, I don't dig that, but that comes with it. But for me, I'm good with it being on.
Yeah, me too. I'd rather it be on because that way guys can't sign and just hoard players.
Yeah, that's why something good with it being on. It's realistic too. If you're not going to start somebody, like it's rare I taking people off other people's squads, but better believe if I took somebody off somebody's squad, they're playing for me.
Yeah,
I'm taking them to back them up. They're playing.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what because guys, I've done it in the league where guys just sign guys and they just hold them for like 4 years and then they turn 28 and they release them. Like, man, I could have had him. He could have been a star my team by then.
Yeah, I'm good with it being on, man.
Yeah, so I was just curious. I know that was like a back and forth debate. I know the all man versus all pro. I'm an all pro guy. I feel like all man is so cheesy. Between the speed threshold and guys letting the computer do whatever for them, they just picking plays and letting the computer pretty much do everything. I'm just not a fan of it. So. Those are just my personal opinions. And I know it's like the biggest thing in our group chat, in our league chats or whatever. So I just want to know your opinions on.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Anything else, man, before we end this one? And when you want to do the next one?
I don't know. Maybe by the time
next Saturday?
That, or if you wanted, yeah, we can definitely do next Saturday. Or I don't know if you're gonna do what you did last season and do like the midweek Wednesday one, or you're just gonna hold them for Saturday?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I gotta get the.
That's what I was telling you last year. I said this when I used to do the show in NBL. I said, brother, them 2 a week, man, it's tough because you got a life. And I don't know. I always liked the Saturday format. The reason why I asked if you were gonna do the Wednesday one because if you did the Wednesday one, by then we would have 1 game played. I guess by Saturday there's 2 games played, which would be a good indication kind of what you've seen around the league in 2 games. Saturday it is.
All right, that'll work. So I guess we'll tune in. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll tune in next week. Orange Box, any closing remarks, man, before you get out of here?
I'm out.
Yeah, I don't really have anything, man. Good luck. I know a lot of guys been labbing. I'm around a little bit. If somebody want to get a game, man, hit me up. I got some of these hands for you. Yeah, but other than that, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Marc Gates Ty, Owner's Box.
Late.